Hope you're thirsty. I'm TV88's Josie Koler, Florida Keys Television's Josie Koler, and we are going inside Florida Keys Brewing Company where there are 10 beers on tap. Some are even infused with key lime. Come on in. Wednesday, January 20th, 2016. I'm so glad you're watching, everyone. It's Islamorada Wednesday, and I'm TV88's Josie Koler. We have just popped into the Florida Keys Brewery. This place is new, but I came up here onto the island, and as you know, or if you were watching earlier, we just took in the Midway Cafe and tested the climate of the real estate market at the Moorings Realty, and everyone said, you have to go see this place. And Craig, from what I understand, you and your wife are the co-owners of this establishment.
That's correct.
How did you become involved in the business of beer?
Well, it started as home brewer about 6 years ago or so. Started brewing a lot of beer. Everybody kept saying your beer's really good, so we kind of kept brewing more and started learning about what it takes to actually build a brewery. And then it took us about 4 years really to open up. We've been open up just under a year now. That's what we did. I got some experience in some larger breweries. They kind of showed me what to do. A lot of South Florida breweries have been a lot of help for us. So it's been a fun road.
Do you have a restaurant background or a beer background, or is this just a hobby that has taken off?
It's just a hobby. I have an engineering background.
Oh, well, hey, that teaches you how to think.
Yes, you see a lot of engineers nowadays kind of getting into brewing. So I think that sort of type of mind does well when it comes to brewing.
And there's certainly the market here. I noticed there's a sign on the wall that screams out, drink like a local. So there's a lot of beer being poured on this island.
Absolutely.
Okay, and what have you found to be the tastes of everyone's palate? Are you catering to what they are wanting to quench their thirst in this subtropical sun?
It's all over the place. A lot of people assume everybody's going to want just the lighter, light fizzy beers. We haven't found that. People want, more flavorful beers. Definitely some of the beers on the lighter end are our best sellers. We have a honey hibiscus kolsch, which is by far our best seller. But the darker beers and the hoppy beers sell really well too. So people do want a broad spectrum of beer, not just one particular style.
All right, let's taste one or two or a couple.
Absolutely.
It looks like you have a lot here on tap.
Yep, we keep 10 beers on tap at any point in time. We always rotate our beers through. I think at some point we figured out we'd had about 38 different beers on tap since we opened.
Wow.
We do barrel treatments with beers, fruit treatments, so we're always doing all kinds of different stuff. We just had a pineapple IPA on tap last week. That was really, really popular. So
infused with pineapple, okay. Yep. Well, I usually tend to go for the light and lemony.
Okay. Well, we have a key lime wit beer. So it's a Belgian style wit beer that we put key lime in. So it's just a hint of lime.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and pour that. Give the glass a quick rinse here.
And I also can't help but notice there are octopus on the bar and a giant sea turtle on the back of the wall.
We love our sea creatures around here.
Well, it's important that you are emphasizing that when you are on the ocean and when you are partaking in our life on the ocean, that you're conscious of what's in the water.
Absolutely.
And I also think that it's really, really neat. You and your wife are from this island.
My wife's born and raised down here. I'm a transplant. I'm from Toronto originally.
Oh my gosh, we have a Canadian.
Yep, which you can actually see half of a maple leaf on our logo. Half conch shell, half maple leaf. My wife's a conch, I'm a Canuck.
All right. Well, Craig, thanks so much. I want to take a sip of this beer. Now, what is this called again?
That's Flakies. So it's short for Florida Keys, and that's our key lime wit beer.
Flakies, okay, and it says on the back there's a mantra, live in the island life, drink in the local beer. I'm TV88's Josie Koler. We're here at the Florida Keys Brewing Company. Don't go away, we're gonna come back with more. I'm gonna be putting on the Stock Island Nikes and getting in there with some hops and making some of this brew myself. But for now, bottoms up. You're watching TV88 and we're at the Florida Keys Brewing Company with owner Craig McBay. Craig, what are we doing here? How do we make a beer? How does it get into the tap?
We're gonna take you through a few of the steps here. We're gonna measure out some grain. We're gonna run the grain through the mill. We have a boil going right now. We're gonna add some of the hops, and then we can show you some of our kegging as well.
Sounds delicious and like quite the process. Let's get going.
then we just kind of drop it in and just kind of make sure it gets all mixed up.
It has a distinct aroma.
Yes. Yeah. As soon as you start adding the hops, yeah, it definitely kind of has a pretty good aroma to it.
For someone that isn't as educated about this experience or about this process, what are hops?
Hops, they're a flower. They grow on a vine. They can grow up to 20 feet tall. So these are pelletized. So they harvest the cones, then they squeeze them down into something. These pellets, they keep a little bit better than using the whole flowers that some people use. And then we bag them so they're easier to pull out, so not as much transfers into the fermenter.
I'm getting a steam bath with the hops. And what else is in this big?
This is, we're boiling what we call our wort, which this is where we had soaked the water with the grain. It extracts all the sugars. Now we boil it for about an hour. We add our hops and any other flavorings that we do, because there's a lot of different flavorings we do. This particular beer we're brewing today is called our Bale Beach Pale Ale. It just has a lot of hops to it, so it's a really kind of citrusy, floral hoppy beer.
Delicious. Who knew that something this intricate was taking place on our little island paradise? To think there is such an intricate engineering process going on here on our island. We're going to be measuring grain. What exactly are we doing, Craig?
Well, for every beer, obviously we have very specific recipes. There's countless different types of grain. So we have to measure out each different type very specifically to go into the batch. Every batch will come out different. Right now we're going to be measuring grain for our Smuggler's Moon Oatmeal Stout. So first, what goes into a lot of base grain, which is just the simple stuff. Then we have specialty grain, which adds a lot of the color and flavor.
Okay. 30 pounds of grain. It's kind of like working on a farm, but you're on an island. Right?
Yep.